Hello, it's Simone here. I thought I would film a teeny tiny video about all of the black pens that I have in my collection because oftentimes black pens are overlooked, underrated, and so I thought I was going to share them with you to show you what they look like and how different they look as well, and what I use mine for. I have 3 different black sailor pens. I have one Lamy. I have this beautiful Waterman Carene. I have a Moonman A1 in matte black. And then this Twsbi Diamond 580 Mini that has a black cap and a black piston knob, but the rest of it is a demonstrator. I think I'm just going to start with all of the ones that are polished, and then we'll look at the outliers. And I actually don't really know what to say about these pens, except that even though they're black, they look really amazing and bring me a lot of joy. And if you have the opportunity to maybe get a pen with a specific nib in black, then I want to encourage you to go for it. This is one of the first black pens actually that entered my collection. I was loaned this Sailor King of Pen, Pro Gear King of Pens from a friend. It has a broad 21 karat gold nib, and this nib is huge. It's a chunker. Very big. Let me grab a regular Pro Gear Sailor nib. Why is everything here so dusty? Doesn't make these pens look super attractive, but here you can see the different sizes of the nibs and also how much bigger the dimension of the actual pen girth is. And when I was loaned this pen, it has a broad nib, I realized how much fun it is to put a bold color into these black pens and surprise everyone with the color that is inside. I used to own, I used to use this Lamy 2000. I think this was the very first black pen that entered my collection because they only came in black. They still regularly come with black. In black Macrolon, there is other colors that are limited editions, but this is the standard color for the Lamy 2000. And that's when I started putting colorful inks into pens. But this has a broad nib. I love how it feels. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to go and ask if the friend would sell this pen to me, even though it's black, because I really enjoy the nib. Here is another closer look at it. It's very highly polished. I need to get one of those rags that you use to clean glasses, because now that I'm looking at them under light, it's like, okay, there's dust particles everywhere. And then I just recently purchased this Sailor Pro Gear from Amazon. It has a music nib. It's another 21 karat gold nib. It has a music nib. Look at the chunky tipping here on this nib. Isn't this just wolf? I'm actually trying to sell this, so if you're interested in a Pro Gear in black with silver trim, and it's so interesting to see how different a black pen looks just when you just and simply change the trim color. If you're interested in this one, I'm ready to let go of this one. Just reach out to me via email or leave a comment and we can connect through Instagram. This one is the Twsbi Mini, Diamond 580 Mini. I don't know. This just says Mini. So I'm not sure if it's actually called Diamond 580 Mini or just Mini. It has a red finial with the Twsbi logo on it. It's a piston filler. And the grip section is black, as well as the cap and the piston knob. I have had this pen for 1.5 years, and here you can see there's something coming off here. Maybe you can hear it. I'm going to be really quiet. I'm not sure what that exactly is and how it will affect the pen, which is scary because this is my favorite reverse architect nib. Well, the only one that I own currently. And I use it almost daily for creative journaling. I have this permanently inked with platinum carbon black, and I love how it feels and looks. If you have a Twsbi Mini and you have the screw, make sure you don't over tighten the cap when you post it. That happened to me, and I am currently on my second barrel of with this pen. And then just recently, I added this beautiful Waterman Carene in black with gold trim to my collection. This pen is so oddly shaped, but still so satisfying to hold. And I purchased this with a medium nib. Here you can see how much tipping is on that nib. It's beautiful as well. This one is actually inked, and I can show it to you. Share a writing sample, and I think you would not be surprised to learn that, of course, there is not a black ink. There is a beautiful lighter shade of lilac, maybe. Would you call this lilac? This is actually Birmingham Pen Company Cherry Blossom. And this is the Waterman Carene in black with a medium nib. What I love about this pen is how shiny it is. I held it next to this King of Pens, and they are very similar in their, is this polishing? I would believe so, but this pen is a metal pen, and it feels much more weighty and more worth the money that I spent. Well, actually, I spent so much more on this than on this. That's a story for another day. And then I recently added this pen to my collection, and I should not have done that. I then quickly replaced it with another pen, which is this one. I wanted to use this body to house my extra fine Pilot Vanishing Point nib, but for some reason it did not seal well enough, and so I had hard starts after 2 or 3 hours of using this pen last, and so I purchased another steel alloy nib pen, and now this one just houses that nib that came in this pen. This is a fine nib, and it writes really nicely, but I'm just not really using it at all. So I'm also not so sure about what I'm going to use this one for. This is a matte finish, and it feels really different than those polished pens. Has a different surface, very different haptic. Both are amazing, but I didn't know, or I didn't think that I would prefer this finish to this one. But now that I'm using this beautiful blue vanishing point body, I realized that even though I like how this looks, I prefer this one. I did not personally think that that would be the case. This one is super affordable at like around 30. This one is around 50-ish. This one I purchased from Amazon, and I think I paid like 120. This one was quite expensive. And this one I purchased from Endless, and I had to wait for a long time. I actually have videos of many of these pens, so maybe I should link them up in the cards and in the description box down below. But I just wanted to show you what all of these pens look like. And then this one is probably my favorite black pen. Okay, let me just do this here. This, I think, is my very favorite black pen. This is a Sailor Pro Gear. This is the Imperial Black, and it has a matte finish. And I don't even know if it's called something else than black trim. But this has not just black trim, but also a black nib. This is another 21 karat gold nib with a medium nib. This just writes so well. I think this is also still inked. Yes. And I don't know if it's just me thinking that it sounds different, but when I'm unscrewing this one, yeah, can you hear this? Okay. So let me unscrew this one again. Oh, no. Yeah, it sounds differently. That is the weirdest thing. Okay, let me unscrew this one more time. Can you hear the sound of the material? It sounds differently. In my ears, it sounds differently. And it feels very differently. I wonder if it stays, if it's going to stay matte, or if it starts going to shine and be very glossy the more I use it. If you have this Sailor Pro Gear, I would love to hear your experience if you have had it for longer than me. I purchased it in the beginning of 2024. And this is an ink color. I don't know what color it is though. A color. Oh, I know what this is. This is Scribo Grigio. And this is the Sailor. With a medium nib, and it's a 21 karat gold nib. This is one of the most favorite medium nibs that I have in my collection. I love using this pen. I love how this pen writes and how it feels. I love the feedback the Sailor nibs give. And I love how it feels when it's just simply closed. And then this one is the very last one. As you can see, the material is very different than the other ones. This is a brushed finish. And if I'm not mistaken, then I think that this, because it is made from Macrolon, is a different type of plastic, acrylic, resin. I don't even know how interchangeable all of these words are. This pen is made from. I know that this pen was designed to be very minimalistic, kind of the Bauhaus style that was very prevalent in I think it was the 1930s. No, that can't be, because 1930s was just before World War II, right? I don't know. Well, Bauhaus was in Weimar, and it's a whole movement. I think Frank Lloyd Wright borrowed many elements of Bauhaus as well. That French architect. See, oh, I don't remember. I learned all of this in university. And it definitely reflects that style, absolutely. And that is something that you like or don't like. It is super minimal. These two things here, these two metal things, are part of the cap closure. This is how the cap actually is. Can you hear that? This is how it closes. It is not a screw cap. This is the only, nope, these two. Both of those are just pull. This one has a 14 karat gold nib and it's a hooded nib. I put a medium nib on this now and I love it. I wasn't 100% in love with this pen until I changed it to a medium nib. Now I just need to find a perfect color, and there's a small ink window here. I don't know if I can hear how this feels. If you put this through a, what's that called? An ultrasonic cleaner, this will dry out. And then it's a piston filler. So all of these, this is a clicker pen. This is pull cap. All of the other ones are screw caps. All of these are cartridge converter pens, and these two are piston filler pens. Alrighty, I really love all of my black pens in my collection. I am ready to let go one or two, mainly this one and this one, but not because I don't like the color of the pen, more because the nib is not the right nib for me. But yeah, I just thought this would be a fun thing to share. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite pen color is. Is it rainbow or black? What do you prefer? And do you have then black or rainbow colored pens in your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. I will see you soon. Until then, bye.